Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Jen with Lighthouse Oracle, and I am starting a beginner's tarot series where I'll be doing a variety of different videos that cover a lot of the ins and outs of tarot reading. If you are interested, if you're just starting out learning how to read tarot, if it's kind of piquing your interest. I know in a lot of my normal day-to-day readings, they can be a little bit confusing because I'm channeling a lot of different energies at once. So for a beginner, it could be a very confusing. So I wanted to start this series to kind of, get folks comfortable with tarot. And because I feel like tarot is a really great tool, if we can use it, and it can help us guide us on our day, on our week, on our month, and it's just a really useful tool if we get to know it a bit more. And I just want, there's more than enough room for everyone to learn how to read tarot, at some point, and I welcome anyone that's interested. So today we're going to be talking about the 3-card spread. So this is a pretty typical spread, and I wanted to use a series with the Rider-Waite Tarot deck because it is more of an original illustration. A lot of the influences from newer decks are based on this original illustration, so it's easier to pick up on the energies of that. So I've also included links in the description box of different ideas and inspirations for 3-card spreads, and it really is so versatile. I mean, it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, you can get so much information from this alone. So, a couple of ideas can be mind, body, spirit. If you have any questions about, the mind, body, or spirit, what the energy is like today. You could also ask about the past, present, and future. Past, present, future energies. You could also, it's all about the intention. So what is the question you have in mind? Maybe you find a prompt on the links that I included in below. So essentially, maybe there can be one of desire, obstacle, and the solution. Or even in relationships, it could be you, the other person, and the outcome. And of course, it's all about energy, right? So if we're talking about the current energy, we have to also remember that energy always shifts and change. So if you get this reading right now and you're like, okay, what's the current energy of the mind, body, spirit, or the past, present, future? If we're acting in the now, in this current energy, what the future looks like, right? What the future can look like. Of course, if actions change, if ideas change, if thoughts change, circumstances changes, the energy changes. So when we keep that in mind, it helps us kind of narrow down what the energy is, because it's a lot more dense that way, instead of like, oh my gosh, what does mind mean? My past mind, my future mind? It's the mind right now, the energy that is current, that you're feeling. So of course, before we do any kind of reading, we want to clear our space, have a sacred space where you can do your reading, and cleanse it with sage, with Palo Santo, ground yourself, get into a nice calm place so, the message can come through a lot clearer. So, for example, if you want to get in touch with the mind, body, spirit, I'm sorry, give me 1 second. If we want to get in touch with the mind, body, and spirit, say I pulled these 3 cards, right? And this card is the Death card. That represents the mind. So in current energy, of course, I'll do one just for the collective after this, but this is just a example. So say the Death card comes out. Okay, so in the mind right now, there is a shift, a change, a big change. Major arcanas in the deck often resemble a significant change. So when it comes to the Death card, you could also use the little notebook that comes. Oh, I meant to close. I have my laptop open for reference for the other spreads, but I forgot to mute my laptop. I'm so sorry. So with the Death card, there's also little booklets that generally come with readings. Well, I'm sorry, that come with the deck itself, so you can use this for your reference as well. But eventually, we want to start using our intuition, that gut feeling, where the card leads. Maybe specific images in this picture seem to pop out a lot more, right? So for the Death card, like I said, it often resembles the ending, a letting go of something, maybe a mindset that no longer serves us anymore. It essentially doesn't have to mean death, like literal dying. It's more of the death of an experience, the death of a circumstance, the death of a mindset, especially if it's being resembled in the spread as the mind, right? So say we see the sun here in the background. If you notice, there's like these little towers here, and there's a sun here that's kind of rising. I see that as a new dawn. Something's coming up. You know, the sun, the moon is setting, the sun is rising. It's a cycle, right? Things are happening. Some cycle has ended, and a new one begins. With a death, there comes a rebirth. I also see a lot of yellow. A lot of yellow can represent solar plexus energy if you want to connect it that way. For a lot of folks, it can mean, the solar plexus also represents confidence and a bright spirit, that confident energy. The blue here, so blue can be very significant with all this blue here as well. In some cases, you see a white horse, and the white horse can represent, there's a lot of this black and white here, so it can resemble balance. So now we're going into calmer waters, maybe, whatever needed to end within the mind, of the energy of the mind, no longer serves. So we're letting that go and we're starting anew. So that's basically what mind is. So next one would be mind. So mind, body, spirit, right? Body would be the sun. Okay, so if we get the sun, so in the body, you can feel very rejuvenated. This could be your physical body. This could also be your energetic body. So maybe in the body, you feel a lot more, like I said, rejuvenated, joyful. The sun represents, the sun. It's fiery, it's vitality, it's joy, it's presence, it's warmth. It's a very different energy, of course. If you see these two cards together, which one seems happier? Which one seems more joyful, this sun. And it's interesting, if you want to, a little bit more of an, I wouldn't say advancement, but like just connecting the dots, is I see the sun coming up, right? And in the next card, the sun is all the way up. So within the mind, something new's happening. And in the body, it's like your body is being affected by it as well, but this illumination of the sun and the warmth and the energetic vitality of the sun. You can also look into the resemblance for major arcanas. They can, actually for the tarot deck in general, they have, each card can be represented by a certain element. So and I'll do another video to talk, of course this is a beginner's tarot series, so I'll be doing videos on that as well. So I'll break down what each card means, what the representation is, the elements associated, and even astrological science associated. But in the spread itself, death card is resembled by Scorpio energy. It's also resembled by water, the element of water. So water is very emotional. So there could be a lot of emotions here. There could be some Scorpio energy may be influenced by the mind. Here, the sun is very fiery energy. A lot of folks like to resemble the sun with more prominent Leo energy as well. So it really depends on your reading and the energy you're feeling. Maybe some days I don't pick that up at all. Some days I just look at the card and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, the sun. What does the sun mean to me? The sun means warmth, right? It's life. Without the sun, there are a lot of the plants won't be able to do them photosynthesis, you know what I'm saying? And then finally we have spirit, mind, body, spirit, right? So spirit, we have Three of Wands. The Three of Wands often resembles expansion. So the spirit, so this could also resemble an awakening of some kind, right? Because if the Three of Wands resembles expansion, foresight, if you look at the imagery too, he has like these wands around him, but he's looking in the distance. So if you want to channel your intuition a bit more, the first thing I'm picking up is that scene from The Lion King, if anybody got that as well. Look to the horizon, everything the light touches is a part of the kingdom, things like that. So it's like an expansion, oversight, you're seeing things that you couldn't be able to see if you were on ground level. So if this is in the placement of spirit, so mind, body, spirit, if this is in the placement of spirit, so within the spirit, you're expanding your mind, you're expanding your spirit. Your spirit self is expanding. And this could also have to do with everything combined. So there's individual energies, and then there's a combination of energies as well, which is why 3-card spreads is like more than enough to bring out all this information. And it's beautiful. So if you're interested, I would definitely recommend trying out this 3-card spread. I would recommend, you know, you can use any sort of tarot deck that you prefer. You could even use this with oracle cards as well. You know, it's all about just using your imagination more. Your imagination has so much information and it feeds into your intuition. And so when you're, like I said, the first thing I thought of when I thought of expansion and the way I said horizon, I thought of Lion King, and that maybe something in the Lion King may have, and it's interesting too, the look, because the Lion King is also lions, so Leo energy, and it's a lot of that whole movie in itself is essentially this energy, right? There's a death and rebirth with how Simba used to be and how he is now, things like that, right? So we can start tying in so many of the things that we've experienced in our life with this reading. And it's all about intuition. If it wasn't for this card, I wouldn't have thought about that. So it's the first thing that comes to mind. Your intuition whispers, your ego shouts. So if you're trying to convince yourself that the 3 of Wands, it means what's a fight or something. I don't see it that way, especially in this spread, but some, you know, there is certainly a lot of misinformation that can be spread with tarot, and you definitely want to get to know these cards, right? You want to be friends with them. It's like getting to know a friend. When I first got my tarot deck, I just kind of went through each separate card, and I'll do that too in another video where I'll introduce every single card in this deck and we'll get to know each other. I also have a blog series called Tarot Tuesdays where I do introduce one card of each deck on Tuesday if I have the time. Of course, I have a day job, so whenever I have the opportunity, I'll write it down, my own intuition, my own intuitive interpretation of the card, as well as the information I've gathered from my years of learning, and provide that on a blog for you. So if you're interested, the link is also in the description box below. But this is essentially the 3-card tarot spread. So let's start this over, right? And let's do a different spread. This is called the Good Morning Spread by, I have it on my notes. It's by Alethiomancer. I'll link it in the description box. I don't really know the at, but of course we want to give the person credit where credit is due. Right, so Good Morning Spread. So the first card would be the theme of the day. Okay, so what is the theme of the day? So we're shuffling, our intuition is open, we're open to the answer. What is the theme of today? We're asking with our intention is on what is the theme of today, right? As we're shuffling the card, we're getting that energy. What is the theme of today? Okay, so we pull the card, Temperance. So the theme of the day is temperance. Temperance means patience. The theme of today, temperance also means balance and harmony. And, you know, that's very, if you let's look at the image, right? The image has the winged figure, an angel, a guardian of some sort, and they have these 2 chalice, these cups, and they're interconnecting flowing of energy. So it's a balance of give and take. There's also, if you want to expand on that, there's also this triangle in the middle here. So it's all about what you pick up. So the first thing I picked up was these 2 cups, which resembles balance, resembles harmony, yes? And then I saw the triangle, which resembles fire energy, the element of fire. Fire also resembles creativity and passion and, you know, kind of that adventurous, action-oriented energy, very fiery, yes? And then we see Okay, so I see the figure. He has 1 foot in the pond and 1 foot on land. So it could be a balance of practical and emotional energy. So again, more of that harmony, because water resembles emotion. It resembles compassion and insight, and very more so has to do with the emotions. Earth energy has more things to do with feeling grounded, practical things, stability. So bringing those things into balance brings harmony, yes? So the theme of the day is balance. Of course, in the booklet, we can also look in the booklet and see as well. If you take a look, temperance means, accommodation, frugality, moderation. In the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, though, there are it's a little bit of interesting information as well of their meanings. So please just, again, take it as it resonates, right? You don't have to take every single thing that's listed on the booklet. You just pick out whatever stands out to you in this time. That way the message is more clear, concise, etc., etc. Next card is good news about the day. What is good news about the day? So what is the good news about the day? So this is kind of like your own little horoscope, right? So what is it? Ooh. So if one pops out, then I would say that's something, you know, a lot of times you see tarot readers and they're shuffling, and cards just fly out. For us, we like to take it as a sign because it's like, oh, I'm literally jumping out at you, so you're gonna take this message. So this one came out. We have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands, more fire energy, so very fiery energy today. Also, the good news for the day is the Seven of Wands. It's a very interesting kind of almost a juxtaposition because the Seven of Wands often represents self-defense, protection against something. So the good news is probably you're being protected from something. Maybe you're being protected from competitors, from people wanting to deceive you or things like that. So it can, if you look at the imagery here, there's 6 wands down here and they're all trying, it kind of gives me the idea that they're all trying to attack this person with his own wand and he's defending himself. So I feel like this is, and if you put these two together, this is a theme, right? So if it's balance and harmony, then maybe something is the good news is you're being protected from things that are trying to disrupt that harmony. See what I mean? And also looking at numbers too, the 7, the temperance card is the number 14. So if you reduce that down to 5, 5s and 7s may be significant numbers. So it's just picking up a lot of the different things. And of course, again, you can use the book as well, but let's take, okay, so this is the last card. And this one is your highest energy for the day, which is beautiful. 9 of, wow, look at that. I've shuffled it so many times and this death card keeps coming up. But this third one would be your highest energy for the day, which is the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is all about emotional self-fulfillment, wishes come true, abundance, kind of like look at all these trophies. And if you have a lot of movie references, I'm getting that that reference to the movie, it's a cartoon, Surf's Up. And he's like, these are my ladies. And it's all of his trophies. And he's very, he's very proud. And this is that pride. So, the feeling of pride can come into play. The feeling that, of the emotional self-fulfillment, that feeling of abundance may be your highest energy for the day. So something to look forward to. And of course, it all has to do with all of the themes coming into play. In order to keep this energy going, maybe there are some things that we want to create boundaries with, protect ourselves against. And this is also having to do with the help of your angels and your guides that are helping you along the way too. So this message itself, I am bringing to you. If this energy resonates with you, let me know. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you did, of course, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already, let me know in the comments what you think. Of course, this is my first, episode or first video of this series, but I will be doing a lot more different variety videos. For some, it might be short, sweet, to the point. Of course, this one I wanted to explain the 3-card spread and what it could potentially mean and do for you, since this is like the foundation for fantastic tarot reading. And anyone can do this. If you pick up a card, deck a card, shuffle it, cleanse it, you can do a 3-card spread, and of course, look at that. A lot of information can come out. But in the future, I will be doing more tarot spreads that I see on Pinterest that I'm like, ooh, I feel like my audience would love this. And we can do it together, and it would be fun. And I want tarot to be fun. Tarot shouldn't be scary and, you know, I'm reading your future and things like that. It should be informative. Yes, some things maybe you don't really want to hear. It's kind of that friend that you go to for help, and, you know, they're gonna give you that tough love if they want you to. They also can bring you really good news. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that it brought some clarity. I hope it helped you understand the 3-card tarot spread. I hope that you get a chance to do it yourself if you feel called to. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Okay, take care. Bye.